Okay, welcome back. So the market's holding on. I think it'll be instructive to listen to some technical analysis now to kind of decipher what happens next, because we are talking about very sharp price action, both on the way up earlier till last Thursday, and then a very sharp sell-off over the previous 2 days, Friday and then yesterday. Jay Bala of CashTheChaos.com is joining us. Jay, tell us, how are you reading first the correction and the price action that we are seeing today? What should one go with?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Prashant. Before I come to the Nifty, it's very important to touch upon the currency markets. I'll just take 10 seconds. The euro and sterling have gone below the July low. So basically, people who've been talking about a resumption of a weak dollar, that's been cold water has been poured into that, and gold is holding up above the July lows. So basically, there is a possibility of a risk-off event. That's the signal so far from the market. So coming to the Nifty, there are multiple possibilities at the moment, but I'm leaning towards the possibility that we're going to see at least a move towards the 17K mark for Nifty. That confuses, or probably slightly below that, confuses both the shorters and the long players on the market, and then a recovery to a fresh swing high. But we'll decide what the market is going to do when the markets come closer to 17K mark, and if need be, we can change our position. So look for short-term lower lows for the markets to come through, and the markets that holds below 17,700 to 17,860, that's a sign that this move is actually the dominant play that's going to play out.
Okay, Jay, good afternoon. What about the bank Nifty? Because that was sort of leading the market on the way up and has led the market on the way down as well.
Yeah, there is still strength in SBI, Anuj. I think SBI as well as ICICI, they seems to have unfinished move to the upside. So I'm a little more confident on SBI than ICICI. But probably we're going to get fresh 52-week highs while the rest of the banking space lag behind and do not give too much headroom for the banking index. The resistance for the banking index is about 39,600 to 41,000. So within this mark, this higher high for SBI and possibly ICICI could play out, keeping the rest of the frontline names in the banking space like slightly as laggards.
All right. Hi, Jay. What about the IT index? The problem is that fundamentally everyone has a divergent view. How is the index shaping up on the charts? Do you think we are bottomed out? Do you think that, in fact, there is a case that we could see a further decline from here?
Yeah, the IT index is the only index that went below its June lows as far as the Indian markets are concerned. But, the structure is such that the medium term is still bullish, but in the short term, we need the market is playing out a very complex structure. So a little bit, that's the reason why you're seeing a chop between 30,500 and 25K. So that is probably playing out. It can accommodate one more lower low below the July low, but we are still working with the thesis that from a medium-term perspective, the Nifty IT index will hold about 24,400, and that will be bullish turn for the market, probably below the July lows. Once we have a slight low below the July low, the weakness is coming from possibly TCS. That's got unfinished downsides for the stock.
Autos and FMCG also, Jay? I mean, things are looking a little exhausted?
Yeah, that's right. Even I pointed this out last week, Prashant. There is fatigue creeping in the FMCG space. I had pointed out several weeks ago, watch for the 2413 number on HUL. That's going to be very key. And I think there is a possibility that's going to probably play out this week. But, a little more further lower lows needs to be completed for the stock. And watch out on ITC too. ITC is also looking a little bit fatigued. But as long as it's about 303, 301, you can be on the edge, but definitely no fresh longs here.
Okay, any sort of trades in the futures and options space, Jay, in terms of individual stocks that you may recommend, long or short?
Yeah, I have two short ideas, Anuj, and it needs to be played really carefully. Don't get too aggressive, because there is this move is a little bit volatile, and there's a possibility of markets getting chopped on both sides. So try to keep the risk lower and have that in mind, and keep these two picks, play that with that in mind. Shorting opportunity in Hindustan Unilever with a stop about 27.15, the 24.13 level that you spoke just now, there's a potential that this stock is going to hit that level. So try to pick up just out of the money put, or if you're long in the stock, use a covered call strategy or something like that. And the other one is short on Tata Power. Tata Power, has failed just under the 50% retracement mark of about 245, and it's looking like it's starting its next leg lower, probably hitting somewhere below 200, roughly 195. So once again, try to play it very gingerly. Use a put position or a covered call strategy.
Jay, very briefly, you said most likely the Nifty goes to 17 or slightly under, and then makes a new swing high, goes back to the swing high of 17,800 or so. But what are the larger view after that? I mean, this is 4-5%, right? Is there a bigger view?
Yeah, definitely. The medium-term picture is that, Prashant, the markets get somewhere close to the record highs or slightly exceeds it, and then misleads the whole market into believing that the bull run is continuing. The larger picture has slightly changed. Keeping from November 2021, we're still unfinished with the downsides for the market. So basically, the markets needs to go below the June low. So we are just looking at the possibility of the market going above the August highs and then coming down to fresh lows. Whether that high is going to clock a trap